Hello everyone, welcome to a Channel Maddnes Real Talk. We have the Epic Shin here.
The Josh.
Sure.
The Lexo.
And the Todd.
And me.
And me. And things.
And we are coming at you live but not live.
Coming at you.
Coming at 3D.
Live from Times Square.
No, it's a hot, loud
Channel
on the
Maddnes.
side of the screen. That's
Channel
us.
Maddnes coming in 3D.
We are coming at you with our real talks today, and we are talking about motivation as our topic for today.
We didn't really want to do it, but
We just had to find motivation
Yeah.
to come out here and talk to y'all about like what does motivation mean to each of us, and how do we get motivated in life, because you can get to be motivated for different things: work, hobbies, the channel, trying to get people to come and make content for the channel.
trying to get people motivated to play Minecraft with
Look
you.
at us.
Would that be ever a problem?
Yeah. So we are talking about motivation, and we can just jump right in. Does anyone want to start?
Wait, can I start us off with a quote?
You may.
It's a relatively long quote, but it's by this guy called Georges Saint Pierre, and he wrote it in The Way of the Fight.
Is he Russian?
I don't know. Probably.
It sounds French.
Yeah,
French.
Saint Pierre.
It says, "You don't get better on the days when you feel like going. You get better on the days when you don't want to go, but you go anyway. If you can overcome the negative energy coming from your tired body or unmotivated mind, you will grow and become better. It won't be the best workout you have. You won't accomplish as much as what you usually do when you actually feel good. But that doesn't matter. Growth is a long-term game, and the crappy days are more important."
That's cool.
Wow.
I really like that.
That's a good quote.
I like
Yeah.
that,
It definitely needed some of the middle bit. I was just like, I mean, technically, maybe you do better just on normal days. But you're still making
but
That's
progress.
the idea of the
The what I got about
Yeah, I know
it's,
what they
Yeah.
got.
it's the shitty days that matter. Like,
Yeah.
being
Yeah,
able
if you can pull through
yeah,
that, yeah.
you can always
Because the shitty days could be easily wasted.
You can always get through a normal day, but being able to plow through a shitty days is what matters the most.
So it's like
And that's the whole
endurance.
episode.
Yeah, no. Because motivation means a lot of things to a lot of different people. To me, I have different motivation when it just comes to getting up, just going to work, just trying to play games, just trying to do channel stuff, just trying to socialize sometimes. It's all requires a different amount of motivation. And I have different, I'm not a morning person. I hate getting up. Trying to get up for work is like the worst thing for me. I can sit the snooze button for 8 times. Just I'm half an hour late for work. Okay, I guess I should get up now.
I've done a similar thing. Like my old routine used to be to get up at 5, go to the gym, be done at the gym by like 6:30, home, shower, at work by like 8.
And then I came
That's
into
a
his
rough
life.
morning.
She came into my life, and basically what I do now
It's all my
is
fault.
5 a.m. my alarm goes off. I hit snooze until around 9.
You hit snooze.
Okay, she hits snooze. But
No,
basically,
I mean I don't hit snooze. I wake
She
up
throws the
first
phone
and
at
I
me.
throw the phone at him.
Right. So until
Literally
like
just
9
plop it on
o'clock.
his
So it's like
face, it's
4
great.
hours of snoozing. I have to be at work before 9. So I'm already technically late. I get up, have a shower, go to work half an hour late.
Yeah, but the question is what keeps us from getting up and doing that rather than just not? Because it's very easy to just sometimes I have bad days and I just can't go to work, either stress or I just don't have the motivation. I just have to have a sick day at home, mental health day. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's necessary, but what's the difference between say that and just I just don't want to go to work?
I find though one thing that makes me motivated is to be inspired by something. So if it's going to work, I get inspired by the directors who do really good work near their all times of the day and stay really late. And
You
I
work
want
with
to be
Peter Jackson,
like you.
don't you?
Oh, no. Or I'm trying to do a lot more art at the moment, so I get inspired by looking at great art and be like, I want to be more like that, and it gives me motivation to try and improve to be more like that. But it's hard to find that kind of inspiration just randomly. Like you have to go out of your way to find it. I find.
Yeah.
Like you don't just find it by scrolling through Facebook at 11:30 at night
Yeah,
While
Facebook
ignoring-
inspirational messages.
while ignoring
and
texts
not
from your
generally that
fiance.
inspirational.
I I didn't actually hear what you said there.
Nothing,
He
babe.
was ignoring your text.
Nothing, babe.
Oh, okay.
I know. I always text you back promptly on time, and I never put it off.
I'm so bad at
Yeah,
messaging.
that's interesting. I also feel like there's a different type of motivation that you need when there's something like going to work versus just waking up versus doing something for yourself, like going to the gym or working on like
Yeah.
a new hobby that you picked up.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I got to spend an hour practicing
Like-
guitar today.
So trying to organise, say, a party for your friends. It's something you want to do, but you've got to find the motivation to get the plates out, do the decorations.
It's still work.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still there, but there's a different type of motivation because it's something you want to do. Whereas, you know, I want to go to the gym. I just don't I can't find time
Yeah.
and the space or the money, and I don't want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like you get-
agree.
Yeah.
I get more motivated for other people than I do for myself. I've been all like, oh, I am terribly unfit. I should like at least do some running or something. But that's a personal thing. That would be for me, and therefore it's a relatively low priority. And then other things are like, oh, you know, you do the dishes because you want mum to not have to wake up and do the dishes and be grumpy the whole day because nobody did the dishes and stuff like that.
Sorry,
And-
Mum.
Sorry, mum.
Sorry, Mum.
Both our mums.
Literally today.
Sorry, all mums in
Yeah,
the
all
world.
mums in the world were sorry for not doing dishes. We
Yeah.
just couldn't find the motivation.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
But we're fixing this.
Yeah,
we're
we-
fixing this for
the
all
next
mothers.
generation coming behind us, they'll be doing the
Do
dishes.
your damn dishes. and at least thank them if you don't and they do it. Yeah, but getting motivated for other people is a lot easier. But I have a bit of a different problem where I like always want to do things for other people, and I line up a lot of things sometimes, and then I don't get to do them all because I'm like, yeah, okay, Josh, I'll come play with you on Monday, and then Monday rolls around and Karan's missing me because I haven't seen him in 3 days, and apparently that's a long time.
3 days.
and then like, yeah, brother, I'll come do this thing with you, and then the day rolls around and it's just not a great day or whatever, and you're like, oh, I'm just letting everybody down. And I think that the idea of not wanting to let people down is something that motivates me, which is maybe not the best thing
Nice.
to motivate you. It's like
I think
presumably I'd like to word it as I'm
You
doing
want to
this
have
for other
motivation
people.
for yourself.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to
Well,
find
you're
some
not
kind of
letting
motivation.
yourself
Yeah,
down.
you don't want to be motivated for or by other people. Like, I don't work to make, you know, my family. Like, I did obviously when I was younger. You know, I worked because my mum made me. That was my motivation, is because my parents forced me to. Now I obviously work because, yes, I can say I'm motivated by the fact that if I don't work, I can't pay my bills and I can't feed myself and I can't live.
Important things.
But you're not doing the bog standard lowest that you can do
Yeah.
to do the job.
If I was doing like a 9 to 5 job, like unskilled, not like unskilled, but you know, like the jobs that everyone sort of looks down, like checkouts or garbage man, not really garbage man, things like that, and I wouldn't really think twice about it until, like, if there was a version of me then and me now, and we came across each other, that version of me wouldn't realise the difference that could have been made until I saw myself and be like,
Right, you
Like,
have to sort of get to
I
that
didn't-
place
yeah.
before you see.
yeah,
what
I'm
the
like,
difference is.
I think I just got really lucky in the fact that I enjoy baking and I turned it into a career and just went with it. I could have very easily and very likely, because I didn't really have any skills leaving school, didn't really have any interest or hobbies of doing anything in my life. I'm like, I just thought, well, I'll just work for the sake of working because it's what we have to do, right? And I could just really easily sit down into a job and not you know, maybe 30 years gone by and be like, that'd have been my life. It's, I don't know, something obviously changed and now I have a different outlook on life. I want to do things that I want to do, and that's with the like finally got the motivation to start the channel, finally got the motivation to do things. There are some things that are lacking motivation, like painting my models. I've got models that haven't been touched for 10 years sitting down there.
That might
But
be
you
more of a
can't-
time constraint.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
there's
can't
no
have
time
motivation to do everything at all the time.
No.
Because it's not going to work.
Building that boat, I want to finish that, but that's going to be hard.
How did you find motivation for the channel then?
I always wanted to make a YouTube channel, and I found, it was always like an interest, because I always watched other YouTube channels, and I'm like, this is the stuff I like, and I want to make content out there. And I always used to daydream at work. That's just what get me through my work hours was daydreaming. I thought about being famous and what kind of famous would we be? I wouldn't be a singer. Maybe I might be a movie actor, but honestly, I thought about it. It'd just be like a YouTube star because that fits my personality. It fits what I could do, and I could see myself in its scenario. But then I'm like, I don't think I would want to be a solo YouTuber because I just don't find that fun. I would rather have my friends and my crew around me because that's more interesting. So I did try to start it like 2 or 3 years ago, but things fell through and I put everything on the back burner and held things up. And it was only now that I'm like, oh yeah, I finally feel motivated to do it. So I forced all of you into the truck and pulled you along for the ride.
So
It was a literal truck. It was white. Had free candy on it.
It
We
had
didn't know
the
him
Maddnes
before then.
logo.
So that's really interesting because you said you tried this before. What was the difference between last time you tried it and this time? What made this time more successful than last time?
I wasn't going through my breakup.
That would work. Yeah.
That would.
It was
You also have more people behind you.
That would kick things up.
It was sort of like just as I started, shit hit the fan. So I had to put everything on the back burner to deal with that emotionally, which took maybe about a year or so.
Yeah.
And so it was only just sort of getting back into life and building myself up to a point where I'm more stable. Then I'm like, all right, I'm finally back to a position where I feel everything's okay. What can I do that I wanted to always do? I thought, make a YouTube channel.
That's great.
Done.
And here we are.
Here we are. 100,
Episode over. No.
100 and like
Still in the truck.
yeah, 100 and something 6 episodes, and you can see the difference from the first lot up to the new lot. All the highlights, the editing is definitely improved.
And that being able to see your progress.
Yeah.
Being able to set yourself smaller goals and tick them off. We
At the-
haven't yet.
At the end of all of this, I'm not going to be upset if we're not famous or well known. I'm going to be happy with what we've accomplished, and we can look back at the legacy that we created with my friends, and just all the fun we did.
Yeah.
Just like this is all the stuff we did, and that's why I don't want you to make. I don't want to force you guys to make content because I want content out there. I want you to make content for the same reason that you're going to look back and be like, these are the videos that we made like 3 years
Look
ago.
at how
Yeah.
dumb we were.
Yeah.
When I have kids, I'm gonna make them watch all of
The
your
Spyro
videos.
videos.
All the Spyro videos.
Sit down and watch this.
Dad, what's
Daddy,
this old game?
Who's that man Shin? He sounds like an asshole. Oh yeah, that's Shin. Yeah.
That was a
Don't
good
talk about your godfather like that.
That was a good Shin impression.
Yeah. I should really sit with him. Like he keeps doing a Shin impersonation of me in all his videos. One day I should just come in behind him like that's pretty good there, Khan.
Pretty good job there.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Shin.
Yeah. I should cut all your audio from your next Spyro video and replace it with my own as an impersonation.
At one point, he devolved into like Aussie accents, and they just sounded exactly the same. We were just having a conversation.
me and Shin talking to each other with the same sync.
But, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that was like the motivation behind the channel and stuff like that. What motivates each of you to get through the day?
Let's get through the day.
Josh,
Start
What?
with me.
yes. What motivates you to get up in the morning, go to work, come back home, and knowing like what's your motivation there?
Fortnite. I want to play Fortnite.
I just want to go home and play Fortnite.
Just want to play Fortnite.
I don't know. To get up to work really is just to say I want to finish the day. I think about the end of the day and get it all done with.
Do you feel that
Because-
you have the right sort of motivation?
Not entirely. No. Not for.
Like, it's maybe not the best. Like, obviously, it'd be better if you really enjoyed your job and you were excited for both the job and when the job's done and you can do something like yourself.
Yeah.
But considering that it's not going to be that everybody gets their dream job, sometimes you might just have to get the job, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I think it's okay that you are like holding out for the rest of the day because you know you need the money and the job and the stuff so that you can do the rest of the thing. And I think that's kind of okay if you still have like the looking forward to the rest of it. It's sad when you then don't have anything else that you're also
That your only
looking forward to.
motivation is because that's it.
It's because that's what society
I'm-
does. That's what people do. They get a job, they do the job, they go home,
Yeah.
they
You're working for
sleep or
work's
something.
sake, not for your own self.
Yeah.
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 I'm more of a like motivation towards doing my own personal things like hobbies and
You
guitars
do
and
your
Yeah,
badminton?
how do you get motivated to your badminton?
Oh,
stuff like that?
badminton and like I always and it's unrelated. It's like watching tennis and stuff. I see all the greats like Roger Federer and stuff, see them do well. I want to be like that. Obviously, I can't do it because I'm playing badminton, but I like seeing that superstar feel, or, improving and hitting and playing the game much better. So yeah, that's something I like to roll across. Yeah, and I always like to be the best as I can at my my hobby. So
I think
I'd really hope to get into a professional badminton level, but I might not. But I still aspire to.
The fact that you go out, you play badminton, that you learning to play your guitar and things like that, I find that awesome. I'd love to have the motivation to go out and real instrument, not an ocarina.
Yeah,
I mean,
Let's be honest, that's just
still
a fan instrument.
I'm still getting into things. I'm like, I want to do more things.
Yeah, I like that you're doing new hobbies as well. You haven't just decided that this is your lot in life.
Yeah, like I'm also like thinking of getting into like boxing or karate or something.
Ooh,
I want
It's
to.
gonna beat us up.
I want to get back into GKR.
Just because of
What's
progression
that?
and stuff.
Go Kangaroo.
Gifted
I
kids
don't know anything
program.
about that.
Just the martial
Yeah, and like
arts.
when I was young, I always used to my dad used to watch a lot of boxing fights. So I was like, grew up with all that stuff. So it's just like,
Yeah.
and pretty much lots of hobbies and stuff that I'd just like to run across my life. And yeah, I think badminton's probably the biggest one I aspire to do.
You said like getting better and being the best you can be and stuff like that. The way you handle it is fine, but do you think that can be a dangerous motivation? Like if you only are motivated because you want to get good, do you think that's maybe not the you the way you do it is absolutely fine. But I see a lot of like kids these days, and I'm not gonna say who.
Can.
No.
It's me.
Who?
I want to be the best Fortnite
Who-
player.
who-
I want to be the
Who
best
really-
there ever was.
Yeah. Who get really upset when they're not good at something. And then they're all like, well, I only really wanted to do this if I was going to be good at it, and then they toss it away and stuff.
See, I feel bad for saying this because everybody's different, but I don't really like when people give up on something straight away. I think there's a lot to be said for somebody who will try something new and either like they can expect to be better than they are, or they can expect to be bad, but I always want people to, when they try something new, go in with the mindset that they're going to be learning something and it's going to be a climb regardless of what it is. Like if I'm going to go and play football first time ever, I've played football before but not actually.
Yeah.
But like I'll go into it expecting for it to be hard, and I'll be like, yeah, if this is the thing that I want to do, if I have fun, then I'm going to dedicate more of my time to it and I'm going to try to get better.
Yeah.
See, I can't do something like that because, like, if I can't enjoy it and if I feel bad about it, it makes it so much harder for me to stick with it because I just can't.
Yeah.
It's just really hard for me to keep part of something. Being able to find the motivation and push through it normally comes from the fact that I'm forced to in some way or another because I have to go and do this thing.
Or you've already paid for 3 lessons or something like that.
Like if I was to go and play badminton, I know I would suck and then I would feel bad and I just wouldn't have the motivation to do it again, and that's how my mindset. I think I had the
But if you did it with specific people, it might be easier.
maybe, and if it was like structured well, then I probably could. Like we had the similar thing when we went ice skating. I think one time for a thing. I don't know how to ice skate. I knew ice skated before. Everyone was like sort of ice skating, having fun, but I wasn't. And
Literally spinning circles around you.
and it was fun, but I just couldn't find enjoyment in it because I had a bad experience. I don't want to go back to it.
That's interesting because the first time I went ice skating, I think I had a similar experience. And like I said before, I think the way you come out of it is entirely in the perspective that you have during the time. So what happened when I was there was all my friends were like skating around me, and I'm like, oh, I can't even like
Get off the wall?
Yeah, I'm like hugging the wall. And I was just like, alright, the first thing I'm gonna do is like slowly drift out from the wall and then like go back. And I set myself like a little challenge. And then people were just doing their own thing and I was minding my own business. And every time that like every once in a while they'd come around, they'd be like, how you doing? And I'd be like, yeah, dude, look, I can get away from the wall now. And the next thing I knew, I was like, I can go like a full length without needing the wall. And the next thing I knew, I could do corners as well. That kind of thing, right? I'm still not good. Like, I'm awful. I fall over way too much.
Yeah.
I've
As
always
long
been
as you
like-
don't fall over a child like I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hold that one for about 5 meters and great.
I was always scared of like ice skating when I was a little bit curious to when I did it. And the first time I did ice skate was like 16, and I wasn't very like ambitious to try it. Well, just like a little bit curious. So I walked into it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna screw this up. I did all the usual things that people told you, and walked out of there. I was like, oh, I didn't actually do too bad.
Unfortunately, I just couldn't break that mindset at the time because it got into my head. I just couldn't. Probably now, because it's been like 4 years.
If you were to go with people of your own level and age, because you know if you're put in the kids class, it's
I think
if
we went now,
shitty.
I would enjoy it a lot more than back then, just because of who I was.
Can we
back
go
then.
ice skating? I want to go ice skating.
We can go ice
And
skating.
that's the
We're
thing,
gonna go
right?
ice skating.
Like, it's also got to do with people who are around you. Like, if
Yeah.
I'm there with you and you're struggling, and I'm gonna be like, yo, this is how I started. Do you want to try doing this?
I think I would rather go snowboarding though. To be honest, I've never done that, and I know I'll fail just as much, but I find that more.
When I fall over, I can't even get back up on a good snowboard.
Honestly, it's so freaking dumb.
You feel like a turtle.
As an occupational therapist, like a big part of that, in mental health, a big part of that is around motivation, and it's about creating motivation. And some of the things that seem to work is having people that you value supporting you to reach goals and keeping you accountable about them. So that's a big thing. But I guess it's different for everyone. The actual motivation that they need. Sometimes it's monetary gain. Being able to be successful. Like I know for myself, I love going to work because I can be professional and I can show that I am good at what I do. And being able to be competent like that is a big motivator for me, like because that's a value of mine. And so when it lines up with your values and you've got people behind you, you're able to motivate yourself better than, say, I don't know, like taking out the rubbish. You know, like if it's something that you enjoy, something that gives you life, then you're going to be more motivated to do it.
Do you find in your occupation you have to find motivation for other people?
Oh my god.
That's a huge part of your job, right?
Motivate yourself to
especially
motivate
at
others.
the
A
moment.
big part of mental illness, especially in like schizophrenia, is they lack motivation. Like, and so we have to be that motivation, and that means like prompting them in the morning to wake up.
You
And
said like
like-
one of a few of the people, their goals is to just get out of bed on time,
Yeah.
which is for them a huge deal.
Yeah,
Which
most-
you're
Yeah,
helping them with.
exactly.
Most people may not think that's a huge goal,
Yeah.
but for some people that struggles with it can be a huge goal. I'll quickly say the reason we started this, I brought this topic up, was basically because one of my staff is a young boy. I think he's only about late teens, early 20s.
Tootie.
He did some studying. He's come in. He's just packing for me, and we with our own. We sort of get along more than anyone else because we're both quiet, and he feels like I'm the only one he can really open to because he talks about anime and cartoons. I'm like, yeah, I can converse with you because it's not really something you talk about open with. But he's found but the thing is, I asked him what he wants to do, and he says he's got no motivation for anything. He doesn't want to. He doesn't know where he's going in his life. He doesn't really know what he's doing. He's just working because he says he thinks he has to. I'm like,
Because that's the next
right thing to do.
step.
yeah, because he sort of just
what
has
people
to.
think you have
And
to do.
I'm like, he's got a bright head on him that he could make a fine fresh foods manager, or make he could work up the ladder to make a good position. But he just doesn't have the drive to go there. And it's just I'm like. I've talked to my boss. I'm like, he could be up there if he wanted to, but he just doesn't have any drive. And it's short of throwing him into the deep end, like, all right, go do this position. Like, there's not much more I can do.
That's hard though, because if he hasn't found something that he really wants to do, if he found something that he really loved, he would find the motivation. Like, that would turn up.
Even in his own hobbies, he hasn't found something he wants to stick with. Like, he talks constantly just about trying new things, but never really following through with it because he didn't want to or go further, and he just doesn't really have, like, everyone has the flavour that makes them a little bit eccentric in their own way because they've had that flair. With him, it doesn't really happen because he just doesn't really have, he hasn't really found anything to push him into a direction to make him stand out. And I do find that a little bit upsetting because I think he could do quite well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what brought up this topic today, and that's why we're here talking about motivation.
Yeah. There's the potential for, not to make it sound weird, but like soul searching. Like if you don't know what you want, go find it. Go take some time out, try a whole bunch of new things, try them more than once because maybe you don't know. If you absolutely know you hate it, then sure, whatever. But maybe try it like 3 times. 3 is a good number. And like if then it's not working for you, like move on to the next thing. Do try and find something you enjoy. Like go meet new people. It's like potentially hard to do or whatever, but do that. Like you can find enjoyment in things by other people. Like I'm trying to think of an example, but I can't think of an example right now.
Just watching someone do something. That
You can get excited for something because someone important to you is excited for that thing.
I think the 3 of you were playing Scribble.
Ooh.
I enjoyed just doing my own thing, but I enjoyed the fact that you 3 were enjoying yourself there. Like I didn't want to play it because it's a little bit hard. I think it'd be fun for all of us to play it together.
Yeah, we should do that. We'll make a video.
Yeah, we will.
It's a really good game.
It is a good game, but it does have my sort of anxiety side because it requires you to spell.
Oh yeah.
And like when it's a simple thing that you just don't understand, like what it was, just like something really basic, and it just doesn't come to you. And when it comes up, you're like
when you
dog.
You spend like 40 seconds looking at a bookshelf, being like, "What is that called?"
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, exactly. And the word comes up, and you're just like,
of course it was.
It's like a shelf for books.
Yeah.
What would you call that?
A magazine house.
But it's still
house?
it's still a fun game that I think we should do at some point, which we will. But Todd, what motivates you to get through your life?
Definitely in terms
Lights
of
back
work.
down.
In terms of work, I work with some real awesome people. I'm working in architecture. Well, with you guys, at the channel, you guys are beautiful. No, I work in architecture and I'm blessed to be in like a real big office, and there's a lot of high up people who've done a lot of really awesome projects, so I get to see some of their work and the way they act and sort of peer over their shoulders and seeing them and being like, oh, I could get to that place if I work hard and I get there. And so I'm thinking, I work really hard, in 10 years I could be where you are now. And that motivates me to be like, I want to be like you, but better in my own sort of special way.
I want to be like you, but better.
Basically, yeah. One of my directors recently had his 20th year anniversary at the company. And one of the things he shared in his speech was he said, I remember my first interview here. I came in and the interviewer asked me, what do you want to be in 10 years? And he looked at the interviewer and he said, Daryl, I want your job. I was like, that's great, that's so good if you can have that mindset.
That is one of my motivations of continuing to work, is we have stages of years, you get a little badge, a little celebration, 5, 10 years, 25 years. I want to hit that 25-year mark to be like quarter of a century. Is a century 100 years?
Yep.
Quarter of a century.
It's a long time.
Bam. Because you get to be part of an awesome club as well. You get to go to these special dinners and be
The
like,
25-year club.
I've wasted 25 years of my life in this place.
Give me a trophy.
Yeah.
And the other thing that really motivates me is I look at like beautiful artworks. I love looking at artwork and illustration and animation, and I go, I really want to be able to do that.
Are you on Pinterest?
I definitely have a Pinterest.
I feel
It's full of wedding photos at the moment.
It's going to be full of that for a while. It's going to keep suggesting that.
For the next few years, probably.
Yeah.
But
I only want to do this once. Stop telling me.
So at the moment I'm trying to get more into sketching and actually find my motivation to practice being like good at sketching and drawing life and just doing that. So I figure if I motivate myself to do that, then my goals of being a better architect in the future are just going to go up and up and up. And so that's my kind of goal at the moment, and finding motivation to do that, finding time.
I wanted to be an architect. All the way from like year 7, I was like, I'm going to be an architect. And they're supposed to bring you in high school for like a careers thing where they help talk you through what you want to do and stuff. And I'm like, since year 7, I wanted to be an architect. And then they don't pull me in at all. They were supposed to pull you in like year 9, year 10 before you've made all the choices and set stuff in stone. but like in year 13, as I'm like talking about, yeah, I've always wanted to be an architect to my graphics teacher, and because I took graphics, because it's all like, oh yeah, architecture graphics, and they're all like, do you take art? And I'm like, no. He's all like, you should take an art. I'm like, fuck, what? And then you literally like get to uni and you look at the things and they're basically like, yeah, graphics wasn't important at all. You didn't have to do graphics at all, but you did have to do art. And I was like, well, guess I'm not being an architect. Thanks for shattering my dreams.
See,
And it's like, it could have just been just a little bit of like stuff that could have just helped me. Just tell me. Pull me in for the careers thing that they were supposed to do before it's too late. Don't tell people you're going to pull them in for careers in year 13 once they've made all these choices and stuff. No.
Do you want to know something now? Art doesn't matter for architecture.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Wouldn't have needed that
yeah.
either.
No, you learn that afterwards.
Seriously,
yeah,
if you're ever interested, just like come in for a day at our office. I'll show you around. I'll show you what we do.
See, I had.
Yeah, it's
That
fine.
ship
I want to be a
sailed.
writer now.
Yeah, see, I had the opposite.
I've always wanted that as well,
Like-
so it's okay.
Did you take art?
Oh god, I didn't take art for all my writing ability.
So, because I did art, graphics design, and graphics.
Oh, you should be an architect.
But the thing was,
That sounds like a recipe for being a baker.
I loved graphics.
Yeah, I know, right?
So good at graphics.
I didn't do any cooking cutlery classes at school. Everything I learned on the spot. But mostly because I like model making, model building, and that I thought was the graphics and architect, right? But it was too strict for me. It was, the numbers 2 pencils, everything you need to border, do your panoramic view, all your 7 views of the same square.
I kind of liked all that.
I know you would.
Yeah.
But as
That's my
an
kind of
abstract artist, I couldn't
Yeah,
handle it.
yeah,
And I'm just
sure.
like, I gotta drop graphics because I just can't. It breaks my personality.
Yeah.
And
It's like, I love accounting. I love when the numbers balance. And they always do because I'm great at accounting.
Yeah.
Ha!
When the numbers balance.
the numbers.
Yes.
Alright. Can,
Yo,
what motivates you?
oh man, that's interesting.
Tell us.
So there's, like I said before, there's like a whole bunch of different things that I require motivation for. And I'll start with hobbies first, right? I think hobbies are really important for just keeping you,
Stable.
sane, stable,
Sane
Happy.
in the brain.
happy as well. I think you always have to have a good balance of hobbies with whatever else you're doing in your life. And what I've used as like a gauge for if I actually enjoy something a lot as a hobby is I look at what the first thing I do in the morning is, and it's normally
Open your eyes.
wake up, get out of bed,
Grab the ball.
and then I go
Smash
on,
that like button.
I go and brush my teeth, and I go and have breakfast. I probably go to the bathroom and stuff as well, have a shower, whatever. I don't know. But what I found is during like the weekends and stuff, if there's something that I really like, that morning schedule changes. So it doesn't become wake up, have breakfast. It becomes wake up, go to the garage, do some woodworking. And I'll be in there for like an hour or so. And then I'll go, I haven't eaten yet. Then I'll go and have some food. And that's the kind of...
Yeah.
You know when I was doing that? Yeah. So that's the kind of...
part of it, he was waiting for me to eat as well. I don't eat breakfast.
Yeah, I can.
He's all like, come eat breakfast. And I'm like, I'm not hungry
So-
yet. I can't eat, it's too
So
early.
my first bit of advice to anybody is find something that to you is worth putting before breakfast.
Everything. Breakfast is not
Okay.
important.
Well,
I'm
You
just kidding.
skip breakfast, so
I mean, I don't have breakfast either, so. But I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying.
If it's more important than food,
On my days off, my
guys,
schedules will
food's
change.
great.
Like normally, I'll come up and if I feel like it, I play Fortnite or come and do some editing or be like. And if sometimes it might change. I'm like, oh, I really want to paint that model like I got, or put it together, and I'll go and do that instead.
yeah.
Like, yeah. If,
Yeah.
That's awesome, right?
Yeah.
Like that feeling when you're just like you wake up and you're like, this is what I'm gonna do, and then as soon as you've done it, you're like, it's already been a legit day. I'm so happy right now.
I don't feel like that until I've at least done 2 things. If I spend my whole day on just one task, I feel like I've sort of wasted it. If I do 2 things, then I'm like, oh cool, I did some editing, I played a game, now whatever else is just icing on top.
And then it becomes like mega productive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's how I feel. That's my stance on hobbies and stuff. The other thing is bettering myself as a person, or like whatever my goals are. So what I want to do a lot in the future is woodworking and stuff, and playing video games, editing videos and stuff, because I find that fun. So what I need to do is make it possible for future me to be able to do all the woodworking I want, be able to afford all the tools I want, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that means going to work, and it also means professional development and stuff. So that means I'm going to have to be better at talking to people. I'm going to have to be better at doing my job. I'm going to have to be better at coming up with like insightful questions during meetings and stuff. I struggle with that. That's hard.
Trying to prove that you're paying attention and that you know what people are talking about.
Exactly.
And you're contributing to the
Just
team.
always just ask, what do?
That is probably one of the worst things you can ask,
What?
but it's fine. It's better
So we've
than
been
not asking
running
anything.
through the financial projections for the next quarter. What do?
What do?
What do?
Did you take art? No.
We get that in our budget meetings. We're just like, oh, the bakery's down by $2.5 grand.
Oh, no.
Why is that? I'm just like,
Oh no!
no, half the time I'm just looking at my thing and they're like, shit. I'm like, what?
What do?
Yeah.
What do?
I'm gonna pull that one out on Monday when I go back.
Yeah. So that's like the kind of things that I know have to improve. And so what I do as a way of kind of like working towards making that a reality, making myself better at doing my job, better at meetings and stuff, like all the things I struggle with, is I sat down. I actually spent some time like after work. I just sit there for an extra hour or two with like a big piece of paper, just being like, this is the thing. We've got to like more insightful questions in meetings. How do I come up with more insightful questions? And I made myself a game plan.
What's that thing that you shake? It comes up with
Magic 8 Ball.
Magic 8 Ball.
under the table, under the meeting.
It comes up
Ask
with,
again later.
it comes up with what do.
What do?
This is when you ask it.
Or you just
Yes.
go, maybe.
Yeah.
24.
Definitely, probably.
So yeah, that's the kind of play I went for. I sat down and broke down what I wanted for myself, and I spent some time figuring out like an actual game plan. And with that came what everybody suggests, right? You need to have goals. You set out like goals, and they don't have to be super far, like huge goals. They can be small goals that are achievable.
Yeah, you can make yourself big
Realistic.
goals, but make yourself some small goals.
Yeah.
It's important.
I think if you ever make a goal that you think is too big,
Break it up.
you can keep it, but break it up, and then have it like a milestone type thing. Like you once you pass this goal, you get to the next one, you get to the next one, and then boom, you're at the big goal.
Well, motivation wise, if you have skill and you have a challenge, if the challenge is too hard, or then you're going to lose motivation. If it's too easy, you're going to lose motivation. So you need to have it at the right amount of challenge to meet the skill
You know,
level.
like the sweet spot.
Yeah, and so basically you start off with being able to succeed, and if you can succeed in a smaller thing, then you grade up and you do something a bit bigger.
Yeah, and your goals are
Yeah.
not set in place. Reevaluate your goals. If
Yeah.
you realize that's something that you thought was set as a small goal is too small or too big,
Yeah.
reevaluate, change it, break it up more, make it into something else, make it that you got to do it twice before you
So
feel
little,
like you could done
little
the goal.
chunks of positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
But like Khan was saying, when it came to his ice skating, his first step was actually getting on the
Yeah,
ice.
it's just the success. Like
Yeah,
the first
having
step.
that success.
First step's freezing the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta freeze the water.
Straight in the pool.
Yeah, but once he had that success, he had more motivation and he had more skill to meet the next challenge.
I personally hate goals. hated writing them out in school.
Oh yeah, no,
Writing-
you don't
creating-
have to. You don't have to make them like a paper.
Yeah,
roll,
yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I'm freaking
But even
terrible at
in
that shit.
general, just the principle of what they are, I've always hated them, even at work.
Well, you want to get to 100 likes.
I know, but without realizing it, you create goals for yourself that just happen. Like exactly that. I've got 3 goals. I didn't even realize that they were goals. They were just things I wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
I'm like, those are goals.
That's what they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
no.
hated writing goals.
What is
in
the
class
definition of
'cause
a goal? Something that I would like to
But
achieve.
it always seemed like a mandatory
Shoot a
task
goal
that I
basket.
had to do, and I hated that. It was
Yeah.
just it's a job that. But you know, there are fundamental goals that you just have in life, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't realize that I can do that.
Yeah.
It can be as simple as, I want to make bacon and eggs today.
Yeah, like when you're forced to do something, it takes the enjoyment out of it. If you were forced to write goals. We were forced to write goals when we were younger. That's not mine. No. We were forced to write goals, and I hated them because they always seemed so superfluous or stupid. They were like, I'm writing a goal for you, not for me. And that was the difference.
My goal is to go home.
Yeah, but then goal itself became a negative thing
Yeah.
in my mind. So yes, if you do something like, this is what I want to achieve instead of goal, and then you kind of get past that and you go, but that is a goal, and then you get back to goals, and then you're like, goals are clicked again. Like I at one point wanted to write a blog, and my first goal was, you got to write every day. That did not work. I didn't manage it. I failed on the 3rd day, and I stopped the blog. And I never went back. That's not how you do it.
How do we get the motivation for you to get back to it though?
If I wanted to get back to it, I would. Firstly, I didn't really have much of a plan for the blog. I just want to write about me. I'm so important.
The thing is, with the channel, I didn't have much of a plan when I first started this channel, but when I started, the first attempt that I made, I wrote out pages of different video, scripts with whole plans, like things like that, and that just fell through. It was, I started this one, I just winged the whole thing.
Yeah, that's over goaling, I guess, is what you could call it. And if you are in the mindset of, I will go with the flow, that can work. But it didn't work in my case because it was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've got no structure. I'm just gonna write. What have I done today? Nothing. So like, I would want more direction if I was gonna do another blog, and I wouldn't do it every day. Hell no.
Well, yeah, one of my
That's a week.
one of the original goals when I first started, I would want to try and have a video every day. I'm not keeping that goal anymore because it's painful, and
like you could do that as a group of like this many people or whatever.
We could,
but that's still a not enough.
But
it's
not enough. I think our current rate of videos is perfectly fine.
Two.
Two.
Are we at
There's not even a rate. That's just a value.
we had 100 videos?
Well, yeah, we do. We're on like 103
We're
now.
100
You
videos.
didn't take it off. Look.
Nah, because I want to take them all off
Take it
together.
off. Oh.
Well, I'll take it off. We'll take off the first little 100 videos. We have succeeded. Whoops, I should have ticked it. instead.
ASMR.
Tickets.
That's your goal. Look.
You have to tick it with an audible tick.
Yeah, I need you
We're
to
gonna
actually...
copyright the tick
You
sound.
can roar it on the
I
background.
want you to have the ritual of actually ticking that piece of paper that says 100 videos.
And you gotta keep it.
I want you to go
Keep
and
that piece of paper.
put a physical tick mark on that.
Go, do it
And
now.
I want you
Do
to
it now.
experience that feeling
Do it now.
of
Alright.
ticking off
This
your
is-
first,
This is the goal, guys.
your
We're
first
achieving this goal.
important goal
One clap
ASMR.
for Channel Maddnes.
Alright,
and one clap.
Guys.
As he signs.
ready?
Oh no!
Oh,
Yeah.
that was such a good sound.
Yeah.
And I'll write one more 0 after that 100.
But it's already ticked.
Well, I'll write in. I'll write in. We're gonna get through those last 2 goals: 100 likes on a video and 100 subs.
And you should
Then it's
keep
gonna be
that
1,000.
paper.
I'll put it in the memory box.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you can look back and go,
Be like,
that.
guys, remember when we had this?
That was
and now we're
special.
somehow down to 10.
Yeah, like that's a good moment. That's a
Yeah.
special moment.
Yeah, so that was one of our goals, and it took a lot of motivation for all of us to get there.
So
And,
many videos.
I mean, you 98% you.
but the thing is, like most of my motivation comes from you guys in the group. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't be able to do it without my friends.
Literally hold a gun to him. It's like it's a really good motivation. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, like it takes a lot. It took a group to make Channel Maddnes. Even though I'm producing like the main body of it at the moment, it still took everyone here to make it what it is.
Takes a village.
Yeah.
We're the only people in the village.
We.
It
Yeah.
takes a group of idiots to raise a YouTube channel.
We're all the village idiots.
We're all the village idiots. Yeah. Like, if you want to do ASMR video, and then it's your own content, you can do an ASMR video. It'll be Lexo's ASMR. If it gets 1,000 likes, then you can keep doing it.
We'll start a YouTube channel after we move in together.
Oh, I would like to
Lexo's
add. No,
gonna
I
do
mean,
whatever she wants.
I'd be critical to do like a section where like, because it would be on audio and you wouldn't be able to see it, and so you had to guess what it was.
Okay. If you want to make it a game, that's entirely your ballpark.
Yeah.
Like, I'm giving everyone the ball in their own ballpark to create your own
Why
things.
don't we all get balls?
Yeah, you all get balls. You want to do...
But I've got the biggest
Leg wants
balls
to
of them all.
do Minecraft, Can't doing Spyro. You two would...
Nothing.
Yeah.
What did I say?
I actually recorded a video and I haven't edited it yet. I
We
recorded
need
that.
to do that marriage thing.
Haunted,
That'll be
the marriage
hilarious.
game.
The marriage
Write that
simulator.
I'll just do a swoosh from that moment to this moment.
This is a swoosh.
Alright.
I mean, I talked a little bit about.
We are here with Lag,
Oh my god, it's lag.
and she's going to go through
Next turn.
what motivates her to get up during the day and do what she does.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I mean,
What do?
so I talked a little bit about like
Is it canon?
my motivation, mostly for other people. You know, like they're up. I'll
Get
go
out
hang
of
out
bed.
with.
Okay.
Drags me out of bed.
off.
Yeah, or you know, sometimes I get hungry.
Babe, there's
No,
an
it's
armed
okay.
burglar in the house.
Like,
Probably leave.
and then like with the blog thing, I wasn't motivated about that. But like with writing in general, it's writing's a bit interesting. It's kind of like an inspiration thing where the motivation strikes you randomly. That's not always the best way to do it. You can force yourself to have time to do it, and that is what I should be doing. And I'll get to eventually.
Like, what motivates you to do your, I don't say crafty, but your organizational crafty stuff? You organize things in such a miraculous order and system that no one else here would be able to copy it.
I'm just thinking about helping everybody else move. Like,
Yeah.
helping Karan move recently was all like, I'll just put away your guys' kitchen stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You organised our
Um,
kitchen downstairs. You I've seen like your colourful stack of notebooks and
Yeah.
yeah.
That's like comes from a combination of I just like knowing where everything is and being in a neat space, because being in a clean, neat space just is so much nicer than walking into a house and having like dishes everywhere or something.
Yeah.
You don't know where everything is.
Sorry, Mum.
Sorry, Mum.
Yeah, but like just being able to have a space where you can walk in and you can go, I don't have to do anything because it's already so nice. Like, I love sorting things, and that's like a personality trait I've had though. So it's like it's not strictly motivation. It's like who I am, sort of like bleeding through into things.
But
Like-
because you have the value of sorting things and organising things, you're more motivated
To do things
to
that line
do
up
things
with it, yeah.
that line up with that. Yeah.
My mum used to have this story where she was like, when you were a baby, I never had to worry about where you were because I just followed the piles of items that you'd sorted, and then I'd make my way to you and you were just crawling off, just organising things and piling them all up. And I was like, I don't know how true that is, but I'll just believe it.
Doesn't sound true. But
Well, for one of my birthdays several years ago, it must have been like when I was 15, I got a board game specifically for sorting things in order. So
Is it called a jigsaw puzzle?
no, it's called
yeah.
Sorts.
A jar of buttons.
I know you've got that. We have this game.
What is it called?
Sorts.
Sort of.
Huh.
I
Like,
still have it. You
like
guys
one
want my
of,
sorts?
one of the things I had. There's this table which you thankfully put together today for us.
Oh my god, I
Sit
love
down.
building flat pack furniture.
So it's literally the flat pack thing that the mic is sitting on right
Yeah.
now.
Well,
I
it's been-
didn't even
It's
have
been
it
sitting
stuck
downstairs
in.
for like a week or so, and at some point, I would have got the motivation to put it together. And I didn't do it, not because I knew somebody else wanted to do it, it's just I just didn't want to do it at that time. At some point, I would have. But
I literally walked in and it was like leaning up against it. I'm like, ooh,
I-
someone gave me
I
a
was-
present
I-
to make.
I
And
think-
like, it wasn't even mine. It was just I get to make it.
I think I just wanted to have like friends around so I could talk while I was hammering shit.
Yeah.
That's
Like
what
something to do while you're
Yeah.
doing something.
I just didn't want to sit here by myself and
Yeah, like if it's like a mundane task that you don't want to do, you can get motivation by doing it while doing something you do, like listening to music and make vacuuming easier and stuff like that.
If you make it interesting.
But the
you're
flat
more
pack for
likely
me
to
was just interesting
One
enough.
of the reasons why I hate vacuuming is that it's hard to listen to music while I
It
vacuum.
is.
Yeah. When you mentioned
why
that, I
you
was like,
get-
Oh, that's too relatable.
Wait,
But
oh yeah, I had headphones.
yeah,
I
I
did
have
headphones.
I have headphones too, but I find it just really janky and annoying.
Yeah, they're a little bit
I
annoying to
would
wear at the same time.
like. I prefer doing basically any other chore because it means that I can listen to music easier.
See,
and I had the
I like vacuuming for the cleaning part. I don't like it because physically it hurts
yeah,
my back.
I enjoyed mowing the lawn mostly because I had my headphones in and my earmuffs over it, so I couldn't hear anything anyway. It was outside and it was peaceful. I didn't like it in summer because I probably was on a hill,
Yeah.
so I was just like trying to jack this thing up in the middle of
Yeah.
the sun. But yeah.
Other people mowing pisses me off because it sounds awful and I hate the sound of it. I'm like, but I don't want to do it
Is
myself.
that because
either.
they're singing? And they go,
because in that case everybody hates me doing things because I'm the bad singer.
So we're gonna wrap up. Unless do you have anything else?
Nah.
So we're gonna wrap up our motivation
No.
talk or just our final thoughts. 'Cause-
Wait, I
Yes.
have another thing. I had an idea.
Yes.
So, if you are struggling to do something, right? Maybe there's a way you can tie in something else that you love doing to make it more
yeah, that's
enjoyable.
totally a
So like
thing.
that
Yeah.
music thing is a great idea. Like
Mm.
if I'm like, oh, I need to get better at woodworking, then I could what I did to start with, because I was struggling and I was like, this is hard. I don't know if I can finish this project I started.
Could combine it with
I wonder what comes up with
vacuuming.
when you just search
you
up
vacuum
wood.
your wood.
I vacuum and do woodworking at the same time because I
It's
love
not
those
dangerous
things.
at all.
No, basically I was like, I'm gonna listen to a podcast or I'm gonna listen to some chill music while I do
Channel
this.
Madness.
Listen to Channel Maddnes. So that's the kind of thing I started doing when I began woodworking, and it was real good for me. It was just the time, like 2 or 3 hours, where I could just chill out in my garage, listening to Fat Freddy's Drop, listening to Tear or whatever. And
Doing it with someone who
That's
shares
great.
the same
Yeah.
hobby and stuff.
doing it with someone. We haven't even talked about working with somebody.
We
On,
made
like-
wands.
Yeah, on like a common thing together.
I was so
Right?
good at it.
I'm just kidding.
Like if you have another friend who also wants to do woodworking, work together. If you have a
Yeah.
friend who like, oh, I gotta wash my car, you need to wash your car too. Let's get our cars
Let's
together.
have a wet t-shirt contest. I know exactly where you were going with that. Mhm.
That is not what I was going for, but we can have 2 very clean cars and have a good time and some beers or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like when I was learning, when I'm learning guitars. Sometimes I'll just struggle to play the song, and the weird thing I'd do is actually just watch a good guitar player play and just like, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I get back into it, I'm like, yeah.
There was that day I organised sometime last year where it was sort of like the anti-procrastination day when I wanted everyone to come around
Yeah.
and do things that they've been putting off for so long. It had to be the end.
I broke 2 of my computers that day.
I
Yes.
procrastinated doing work by doing other things.
Yeah.
So at least I did other things.
I did my modelling. You sat on the couch trying to play guitar. It was things that we put off was too long that we finally just thought. I might even do another one because it was good.
I would really love another one because I missed
Oh,
out on the
yeah.
last one.
all
for
my
different
computer,
reasons, but
all
I
my
love
computer
that
files
idea.
were so
We all
organized.
have things that we want to do that we're not doing, whether it be work related or hobby related, the back burner projects that are just sitting there. And that day was organised to make motivation because we're all getting together, we're all building up each other's motivation for these things to get these things done.
Yeah, and we weren't even doing them together specifically.
No.
It's like companionable silence, right? When you're with
Yeah.
someone, but you're not doing something
Yeah.
with them, but they're just there, and it's just making it a happier area, space.
Yeah, because
around you.
and like you get bored and you get hungry, you can take a break and chill with a mate.
Yeah, I think it's a similar reason to why I like libraries. Like when you just go to a library and like I don't necessarily need to know everybody there. I could just be sitting in a beanbag or something, reading a book or doing my homework. And because there are other people who are also doing similar stuff, there was a person who used to do a lot of sewing and stuff at the library, just like hand knitting.
That's
Crochet,
really cool.
no,
Yeah.
Knitting or crochet, one
Yeah,
of the two.
and it was just like in the distance, kind of. It was just comforting.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. But what's bad advice to give someone?
Oh, you want bad advice?
Like,
Don't do it. No, I'm just kidding.
basically, like, go with someone
Just
who
don't.
Go back
Stay
to
in
bed.
Yeah.
no, like someone who doesn't know, simply telling them, just do it.
Yeah, like, oh my god, I had that. So people, you used to do that. It was just like, but you have to, so that's why you do it, because you have to.
Yeah.
And it's all like, well, if you have like, this was about a depression thing. It was all like, what if you're too depressed and you cannot, because mentally you cannot get out of bed, and this person was just insisting that you just get out of bed because you have to, and I'm like, well, you clearly don't understand
Yes.
depression, so
Yeah.
get out of my life. No, I'm just kidding.
If you find someone who's struggling
They want
with,
the clever.
with depression, we'll do more topics on that later on.
Yeah,
But
depression
this
is a big topic.
but people who are struggling to find motivation for goals or life in general, simply telling them, oh, just go and do it. It doesn't
Yeah.
quite help.
Try
Help them out, like,
Yeah.
oh, do you want me to help do it with you? Do you want me to organise a time that we could
Yeah.
go do it together? Or...
And even
Find
peering it
someone.
back one more than that.
Yeah.
It's like, how would you like me to help you?
Yeah.
And do you,
Yeah.
would you like
Yeah.
help?
Yeah.
Because sometimes there is that pride element.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
getting someone to help you, try a bunch of new things. Grab a friend who's gonna go do a bunch of things, and
Yeah.
you can figure out what you want to do.
Like,
and then they can help you do
we
it.
know when some of our friends
And help
back
them.
when they were at uni and they were struggling to study, we'd be like, no, you going upstairs, you're studying, or you're not hanging
Yeah.
out with us. You gotta.
Because you're keeping them accountable.
Yeah.
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 It's like, hey, have you done 3 paragraphs of your
But-
essay?
Yeah, but you're gonna get like the right kind of person. You can't
Yeah.
just make a study group with a whole bunch of people you know are gonna slack off.
Setting small goals is a great thing to do
Yes.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, I also feel like I should point out that some people do work better with the discipline model, like just do it because you have to.
yeah,
Everyone's
And
different.
yeah, it's completely different for every person.
yeah. Each person will have their own motivation that moves and drives them, and it will always be different depending on the
And
task at hand.
If you know that, obviously you can work around that. But if you don't, it is maybe a good idea to get someone
But-
on board.
The goal here is if you're struggling in something recently or just in general, maybe a life goals or tasks or even just, and hopefully you listen to us and you understand, you might find some advice in what we've said and how we all go through get our motivation to get up in the morning and do our jobs.
You're not alone. I believe in you.
Takes-
You can do it. You can take it slow. Hey, you can take it slow.
I
takes-
think we should end with that quote again.
We-
because
That was
that's a
such a
really
long
good quote.
It was on.
We can do that.
You can just
But-
clip it again.
Copy paste.
Yeah, it takes a special motivation to get up at 2 a.m. in the morning for 10 years. Damn it.
I'm not ever going
I
to
woke up at 5 a.m. every morning. That's what happened.
Yeah. Progressively, it just got earlier and earlier. So from
Give us a new quote.
A new
we don't
quote,
need it.
but not this one.
I like
No,
that.
come up with our own quote. Let's all quote ourselves.
Quote ourselves.
Just do
it.
Or don't.
Oh no,
Guys, you're going to get copyrighted.
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Motivation comes from within.
So open
That's-
yourself up.
That's
Literally.
That's intrinsic motivation, though, right? Like, there's also extrinsic motivation.
Okay, shut up.
Motivation doesn't just come from within.
Just end with the quote. End with the quote.
give us a
Yeah,
quote.
give us the
The
quote.
same quote.
Give
Yeah,
it to
same
somebody
way.
else. Give it to somebody else.
But
Give it to somebody else.
mumble it.
Was it
Mumble
the other
it.
quote where I was like, find something that you put before breakfast?
I like that one. Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
what was that one?
anything that you can get more
Yeah.
excited to do than
Any-
food. I mean,
something-
food's freaking amazing.
If something
right?
changes your schedule from the norm, it's probably a good something
If
that you're
it's
motivated for.
better than the idea of cheesecake, do it.
George St. Pierre, from the way of the fight. You don't get better on days when you feel like going, you get better on days when you don't want to go, but you go anyway. If you can overcome the negative energy coming from your tired body or unmotivated mind, you will grow and become better. It won't be the best workout you have, you won't accomplish as much as what you usually do when you actually feel good, but it doesn't matter. Growth is a long-term game, and the crappy days are more important. This is still a long quote.
It is a long quote.
We'll just go with the
Wait, I have. Oh yes,
It's-
I have the best quote.
Alright.
Oh, let me see if I can find
Have
it.
you guys heard about the no zero days philosophy?
No, I don't like it. It
Alright,
doesn't
well,
sound good.
Maybe we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Leg?
Zuko, you must look within yourself to save yourself from your other self. Only then may your true self reveal itself.
Alright. Alright, thanks guys. That best motivational quote right goes there.
Good night.
Uncle Iroh.
I didn't even know what he's saying when I'm pretending to be him.
That wasn't even Uncle
It
Iroh,
wasn't
right?
even Uncle
No.
That
Iroh.
was Prince Zuko as Uncle
Yeah.
Iroh.
I'll probably clip the original clip to put in there
My
as you
God,
say it.
Zuko is so freaking cute though.
Alright guys, thanks for listening to us. We hope you got some useful information and enjoyed our topic of motivation. If you want us to talk about anything in the future, just throw down a comment and we shall oblige.
Yeah.
We
I
promise
hope
to
you're
do
ready for
every
a
suggestion.
Throwdown.
Bye guys.
Oh dear.
Bye.
Bye.
Zuko, you have to look within yourself to save yourself from your other self. Only then will your true self reveal itself.